Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Movies and More. Today, Charlie and I are watching Home Alone with...
Jesse Anderson.
So, Jess, how you doing today?
Doing really well. Thanks for having me on, guys. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. We're watching Home Alone, like I said. Why did you choose Home Alone? Like, do you have a connection to this movie?
So you and I talked about, what movie we should do and thought about it. And Home Alone is just one of those classic Christmas movies that we watched growing up. I'm a 90s kid. This is a 1990s film, and it's my sister's favorite movie.
Really?
Yeah. Shout out to Rachel.
Shout out to Rachel.
So, I just love this movie, and I think it's funny and clever. And what about you? Do you like Home Alone?
Well, I love Home Alone. Like, Home Alone, top 2 favorite Christmas movies. Like, last episode, we ranked Christmas movies, but Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2 are discluded because that would obviously be 1 and 2, you know?
Agreed.
So we kicked those out, but yes, 100% Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2 are at my very top. And fun fact, today's episode we're filming right now, we're filming on the 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually dropping on Christmas Day.
Heck yeah, this would be a quick turnaround then.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So should I probably introduce who I am?
Yeah. You should, yeah.
I think that people are probably like, who is Jesse Anderson, especially for your regular listeners here. So I am actually married to your aunt, Abby. And so there's some relation here. And I'm an Iowa kid that got invited onto a Wisconsin podcast.
Yeah, for sure. It's good to have you. It's good to have you.
Thanks,
actually.
man. Thanks, man. Thanks, guys.
So I'm gonna say one few things about Home Alone, and then I know you have a whole bunch of stuff to say about Home Alone, don't you?
Well, as we watch it, we had about a 4-hour drive this morning, and I had Abby in the car.
Oh yeah.
She was taking notes and looking at fun facts, and we were doing some research on the way up.
That's awesome. I love it. Love it. So Home Alone is directed by Chris Columbus. He's not the grandson of the guy who
No relation?
no relation to the guy who came to America, I believe. I feel like it's
right.
just a coincidence.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it was released on November 16th, 1990.
1990. I thought it was a 94 movie.
Really?
I was convinced it was a 94 movie. Is that the second one?
I feel like it might
Or was
be.
the second one? Well, because he was still young. Was that the year after?
I'm not sure.
We'll have to look that up.
Why
Yeah.
wouldn't they just drop it on in December? Why November?
What?
Like that doesn't make sense. Like why would they drop it in November, not December? Just like wait
Honestly,
a little bit.
I agree.
Let the hype take itself.
National Lampoons was dropped. It dropped on the super early. It was.
I think it's become more common. Would you guys agree it's become more common for like a Christmas Day release?
Oh,
like they didn't
for
used
sure.
to have
Yeah.
Christmas Day. I don't even think movie theaters were open
Yeah.
on Christmas Day back in the day.
But Christmas.
But
is
now
a,
it's like,
it's
hey,
a
that we're
big
dropping
movie day.
Oh yeah, big movie day.
Like Elf, that was released on November 7th. I feel like that's so
What
early.
was
seems
Elf? Was
early.
Elf 2005?
2003.
3?
Elf was released in 2003
Yeah.
on November 7th, which is like a month before Christmas, almost 2. That's why I was super surprised.
Yeah, things have changed for sure.
I wonder if it was in the movie theater longer since it was released earlier.
That's my guess.
Or maybe they wanted to
Build
get it
the
on
hype.
DVD or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
during Christmas.
Well, maybe they kind of thought about it like our family does most of its activities on Christmas Eve, and after on Christmas Day we really don't do anything except for kind of chill around the house and go to a movie because that's all that's open.
We there was a while where the Star Wars movies would be in the theater during Christmas, and that was 3 years where we would just go to the new Star Wars movie on Christmas.
Mhm.
Force Awakens was in December, I believe. Don't quote me because I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it was. And we waited in line for 2 hours because that movie was packed since it was the brand new Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's become extremely common. I couldn't tell you when that shift occurred, but I want to say it was 2010 or maybe later, maybe 2013-ish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would agree. It probably came out in November, I would assume, to build hype. You know,
for
hey,
sure.
Christmas is coming. It's Thanksgiving time. Let's start getting ready. I mean, people. When do they start putting Christmas decorations in stores? Halloween.
The day after
Menards.
Halloween.
Exactly.
It's like day after, like I think before Halloween, they had Christmas decorations.
Yeah,
up there.
it's
When do you
too early.
When do you start celebrating Christmas?
Usually the 23rd of December, so about right now.
Yeah.
You know.
What?
Yeah, usually pretty early. I mean, pretty close to Christmas. I don't see any point in celebrating it any time earlier.
Oh, jeez.
But my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, I disagree. Because I eat almost as much as I do during Thanksgiving as I eat in
But
Christmas.
that's a good. I don't know.
So
I don't know about that.
So, changing subject slightly. So after listening to one of your guys' recent podcasts, you guys had a little monologue debate about Die Hard.
Oh yeah.
I had never seen it. I just watched it.
Are you
I
serious?
just watched it.
Good movie.
Weren't you at Christmas a few years ago when you watched it?
It must not have been.
Or like were you just not like it was in the background?
It was
I'm
in the
pretty sure.
background.
And we
Yep.
were just talking.
And Abby and I, we just watched
Oh
it
my
probably a
God.
week ago. Fantastic movie.
Has Abby
Christmas?
watched it?
Christmas film.
Oh my
Yo.
god.
Yeah.
Oh my
Christmas
gosh.
film.
Oh.
Christmas film.
Oh.
Great movie.
I,
Regardless, let's all agree it's a great.
of course,
great
it's a
film.
good movie.
It's a good
Yeah.
movie.
It's not a good Christmas movie. I mean, it's a good Christmas. It's a good movie, but not Christmas.
Well, I mean, like,
To each his own.
it's got to be a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I sent out a Google quiz to almost everybody in our school to see if Die Hard was a Christmas movie or not. And have you seen Die Hard? Yes, of course I have. No, I am uncultured. So, and then it was like, if they clicked yes, they get a question: is Die Hard a Christmas movie? It's yes, no, I don't know. Again, I am uncultured.
So what was the what were the results?
It was no Christmas movie, but it was no Christmas movie. Was barely beating Christmas movie, but a lot of people have not seen it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Not surprising. I mean, when were you guys born?
I'm 2007, 2008.
Yeah. And it probably came out late 90s?
A while ago.
Yeah.
I feel like early 90s.
Was it early 90s?
I don't.
I have no
maybe.
idea. And I'm 20. I just turned 29 and
Congratulations
never
on
seen
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 days ago.
Oh really?
really?
Yeah, December 20th. And I think that's one of the reasons I don't celebrate Christmas
yeah.
I don't anticipate Christmas because
Your birthday's hyping you up already?
yeah, exactly.
Charlie's birthday is a few weeks before Christmas. He's December 6th.
Mm-hmm. It's a great month.
Yeah.
December is a great month. It's overall like
Everybody's already happy.
yeah.
Mhm.
You come into December, hey, Christmas is 25 days away. Hey, Christmas is 30 days, 20 days away, and then
Well, you just come off that high of Thanksgiving,
yeah.
being with friends and family, eating a bunch of food, and then it's like a couple of weeks, it's Christmas, Advent, it's just a great time of the year.
it just makes me feel all warm inside. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So when our family decorates our Christmas tree, we put on a Christmas movie and get hot chocolate on while we decorate the tree.
Yep.
What's your guys' like? Do you have a tradition for decorating the tree?
I think we're developing one. So I have a young family. Ruby, my daughter's 4, and Henry, my son, he's 2.5.
Yeah.
And we're trying to figure it out. I think we've kind of locked in. There's a tree farm about an hour from our house in Belmont, Iowa. And you go in there, they give you a saw, you walk around or drive around, go pick out a tree, the kid, and then we cut it down. So that's been kind of fun. We've done that 3 years in a row now.
Jeez, that's awesome.
And then we get home. I think there's hot chocolate there. There's candy canes and stuff, so the kids like that. We get home, and then Abby usually does all the decorating, and then I usually try to hold the kids back so they don't knock the tree down or anything. But no, it's been fun, and we're kind of in this situation. Like, I'm from Iowa. My parents are from Central Iowa, and you guys are obviously here in La Crosse. So last year we didn't come back for Christmas because it's important to me for the kids to wake up with Santa Claus.
Oh, for sure.
And I think this will be the new tradition. We'll come up here a couple days before Christmas Eve. We'll hang out, be at the family thing, and then hit the road Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So that way we're home. It's only about 3.5 hour drive, so we'll leave in the evening tomorrow, and the kids will wake up and Santa Claus will be there, and yeah.
Hopefully, if they're good.
If they're good.
If
Well,
they're
Henry,
good.
he's for sure getting Cole. And he's a good boy. He's a good boy.
So I was told that you came super prepared for this episode of the podcast.
Yeah, I'm really jacked. So one of my dreams, as of recently, within the past couple of years, because I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. A couple of my buddies have started podcasts. Now you guys are starting a podcast, and I've wanted to start a podcast for a long time. I just think they're fun and cool, and
I enjoy
I think
it.
it's so cool what you guys are doing. And thank you again for having me on. I mean, we watched Home Alone two nights ago, and then Abby was taking notes today. So, yeah, love it.
It's such a good movie. Like,
So, should we talk a little bit about it?
let's
Yeah.
do it.
So, what's your favorite parts? You know, who's your favorite characters? What are we watching right now? We got it on in the background.
My favorite part of the movie is my favorite character. I should say is Marv. He's the stupid wet bandit. He's like,
Is he the taller one?
yes,
Yeah,
he is.
He's the taller one. Yep.
He's the dumbest person ever. He's like, he's falling for the easiest traps. It's like, and I know this isn't Home Alone 2, but in Home Alone 2, the bricks, like,
Oh my-
you want the
the
camera?
bricks.
Yeah, give me the camera. Throws a brick down, hits Marv straight in the head. Then it just keeps happening over and over again.
Oh my gosh.
I think Home Alone 2 could almost rival Home Alone 1. That's like one of the only sequels that's
I
almost
agree.
better.
I love it. I would agree.
Home Alone
I mean,
2.
they're very similar. It's
Yeah.
the same storyline, just in New York City, but both great films.
so good.
So, fun fact about Marv, Abby. This is thanks to you, Abby.
Show it to Abby.
So the tarantula scene where the spider's on his face. Before they filmed that, he wanted to have the crew take the stinger out of that tarantula so he wouldn't get stung or bit or however that works. And they said no because it would kill the spider. So that spider could have done some damage.
Are you
I
serious?
swear, yeah.
That
And apparently he's scared of spiders. So I think that scream was real.
Right on his face. Was it a real spider, like through and through?
Real spider.
like it wasn't
Yeah.
like fake.
No. Yeah.
I would die. Like
that's
I
so
would
scary.
And they had to
refuse.
do multiple takes. Yeah. Yeah.
That is horrible. That is absolutely horrible.
That's so scary.
You could not pay me that much money for
No.
for a spider that could kill me to be put on my nose. They're like, oh my goodness.
and
I'm not even that
and to
scared of
me, like,
spiders.
yes, I agree. Like spiders, whatever. I'll stay away from them. But a tarantula, we don't have very much experience with those in Wisconsin.
Not
But
many deadly bugs.
snakes, man.
Oh,
our
I
dad.
100,000% agree.
Our
Like,
dad's afraid of
I'm not
snakes.
scared of
It's-
spiders. Like I've seen big spiders before, but snakes. If I see a small snake slithering, I freak out. We were mowing at Grandma and
hate 'em.
Grandpa's. We were mowing at Grandma and Grandpa's during the summer, and there was this huge snake, and I saw it slither right by my foot. I felt it on my cleat. I ran. I ran up the hill. I was
ran it
I was
over.
terrified. On accident, I ran it over.
I've done the same thing. When I was in high school,
so scary.
my parents had a pretty big yard, and my dad didn't like this, but I had a 20 gauge shotgun, and I would ride the mower with it on my lap, and then I'd see because they had snakes everywhere in their yard, and I hated it. And so he'd just see me out mowing the yard, shooting snakes with a shotgun. Oh man! But yeah, I'm terrified of snakes. They're this. I would say easily the thing that I'm most scared of in life.
100
are snakes,
and
my wife.
Heights is a big one for me.
Really?
I don't like heights. Yeah.
I'm not afraid of snakes as much, just because like they don't like, especially here in like Wisconsin, I don't see them very, other than water snakes. I'm more afraid of like bugs, like if there's so many bugs, like remember that one time we went on the fishing trip and like there's so many bugs that like covered you head to toe. You remember that?
Those
I wasn't on
mayflies?
that one, but
Like
that
those
was-
mayflies?
Yeah, I
And
heard.
they would like cover your arms, head like
You
they'd
guys
cover
were
'em
on
completely.
Lake Michigan that year.
Yeah. We were on one of the Great Lakes, and
Yeah.
it was so calm out that the bugs hatched like the week before. Like bugs were everywhere. Like those mayflies, they get everywhere. They were in your face, in your mouth, and like on your hands.
Terrible.
But the
They would,
next
like-
day was windy. It was like just the perfect amount of windy where the water's not too bad,
Kept them off.
but it kept the bugs away.
Yep.
So I was thankful for that.
I don't know if I'm more scared of bugs or just like grossed out by them. Like kind of the same though.
Yeah. Well, and they're just annoying.
Yeah.
We've been so dry the past couple of years, but the year before, I'd say 3 years ago, mosquitoes were just terrible.
Oh, for sure.
And
Isn't it like
the mosquitoes have been great. I mean, I think I got bit twice.
I haven't
past
thought
couple
about
years.
it, but I actually have not been bit by
Yeah.
that many mosquitoes the past few years.
And I get bit a lot.
Yeah.
And my blood must taste good. I don't know. I don't know.
Is it like the bug population? Is it not as like great where you live because like it's so windy, or
I think so. Between being dry and being windy, I would definitely say so. Because in Humboldt, before we moved, when we were in Humboldt, we lived next to the river, a block away, and the mosquitoes were terrible.
yeah, down by the river at night,
Yeah,
it gets
yeah.
terrible.
I mean, we lived in a van down by the river, so that didn't help. All right, so in the movie right now, they're loading onto the airplane.
Without Kevin,
They're taking off. They fly into, is it France?
Paris
Or Paris? Yeah,
Paris.
Paris, France. Yeah. Okay, another fun fact. Have you guys seen? You know when he spills? I think it's milk or is it pop?
Yeah, milk.
His dad wipes it all up.
Uh-huh.
If you look really carefully, have you seen this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
They throw his ticket and passport in the garbage.
Yeah.
I noticed that like a year ago. Like I was like, I just thought it was napkins because it's the same color as the
Same here.
napkins, but it was the ticket. Like
Yeah.
I noticed something. I paused it last year. I paused it last year and it said Kevin on the airplane ticket.
No, I didn't know about it until I saw it on Facebook video or something on YouTube or I can't. But it was like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, what the heck? How did I miss that for this many years? That's a big portion of the movie because you wonder like, well,
That's what
where's his
sets it all
passport?
up.
Where's his ticket? You know,
Do they just have an extra ticket in their hand? No, they threw it in the garbage
Threw it-
back in their home in
threw it in the garbage.
Chicago.
They should have made a bigger point to make that a little bit more obvious.
Yeah, they should have been like, wait, we're missing tickets. Oh, someone must have grabbed it or something. But they didn't even say anything.
Agreed.
I mean, that's probably that. I mean, they probably did it because that's believable how they forgot Kevin because they didn't have Kevin's ticket.
Exactly.
So that's pretty believable.
Yeah,
You know?
it should have been a little bit more obvious, I think. But maybe it is obvious, and I was just a child when I watched it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've noticed it for a while.
You have?
Yeah.
Baloney.
Well, like I didn't know it said Kevin though. I did.
Wrong.
Did it say Kevin on it?
Wrong.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know it said Kevin. I just saw a ticket in there.
it did say Kevin on it.
I didn't know
I'm
that.
pretty
And
sure.
it's his passport too.
It is his
Yeah,
passport
I think
too.
the ticket's stuck in the passport.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You know,
I did not see that.
because there's definitely a blue pass. I'm pretty sure.
That's crazy. But this movie is just like Dumb and Dumber, where like there's stuff in it that you notice on your second time through. Like every time I watch Dumb and Dumber, I pick up something new. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, and I listened to that one. You guys recorded that one with Nick, right?
yeah,
yeah.
I listened to that one, and I think you guys did an awesome job of just getting it across how good that movie is.
It's so funny.
it's such
Oh
a fun
my
movie.
gosh! And I am in total agreement. The second Dumb and Dumber, the Dumb and Dumber,
terrible.
garbage.
It's bad.
Isn't there 3? Right.
There
we
is
went over that.
3.
Oh,
First, like
Dumb and Dumber.
First one.
Is it Dumb and Dumber 2?
yeah, the prequel, like
It's-
Dumb
it-
and Dumber. Or
So when Charlie and I grew up, we had a DVD box. We had a DVD set of it was like on one disc, Dumb and Dumber and Dumb and Dumber was on one disc in the same box. But I'm pretty sure we watched Dumb and Dumber like twice in our whole life. It was so bad.
I don't know if I've ever seen like the whole movie
You don't need to.
it's terrible.
It's just it wrecks it.
because it's not the same actors.
It's not. I mean, the actors actually do pretty well, but the rest of the movie sucks.
Yeah.
Like
There's like no reason to make the movie. Like
They
it's
did-
not needed.
I mean, I guarantee you they made a buttload of money because it has Dumb and Dumber in it. You know?
Did you guys cover the last scene in Dumb and Dumber with the girls in the bus?
No, I don't think we
No.
did actually.
That's my favorite scene.
It's so funny.
I think that's the funniest scene.
Harry, can you believe what you did?
Yeah.
The town is that way.
my friend's a little slow.
Man, some of
Town
those
is
are
that
going to
way.
be some lucky guys.
Those poor bastards.
Oh, it's so funny. So funny.
Dude, like Are you a big movie guy, or are you like more of a TV show, or do you read books, or?
I love movies.
Yeah.
But I just mostly love watching, like, one of my favorite things to do is watch shows, watch movies, watch whatever. So like every night I make it a point as much as I can to like sit down before bed. Kids are asleep, watch a show. Abby and I, for the past couple of years, we've really gotten into series.
Uh-huh.
So we've been watching, miscellaneous TV series on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, and we love that. Typically, we watch them way too fast. We'll binge watch, and then it's 10:30 at night, which sounds maybe early for you guys, but 10:30 is late for me.
Oh, it's late for me too.
And but movies, I grew up, that's all we had. Yeah, I didn't have the capability to stream.
Yeah.
So we couldn't binge watch. So TV shows, I'd watch like NCIS with my dad.
Oh, yeah.
Or Prison Break. That was one of my favorites. That 70s show, Scrubs.
I've watched Scrubs on my school Chromebook. Sorry, Mr. Bradley, but you blocked it.
King of the Hill.
Oh, is that the cartoon show?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a few of those episodes.
Did you ever watch Blue Bloods?
Yes,
Our dad,
just
Leo and I.
just a couple. And I know. Doesn't Grandpa Jim? He really likes.
Oh yeah,
Blue
for
Bloods.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I never got big into that one. But like growing up, for me, it was like we'd go to the public library in our town,
Yeah.
and we go get VHSs, and then when they changed over to DVDs, so like every Friday, my mom would take my little brothers, or my brothers and I, we'd go pick out a couple movies for the weekend.
Oh, for sure.
We loved it.
We-
Loved it.
My grandma Kay, she babysat us when we were younger, and she would take Charlie, May, and I, and Gus, but he didn't do anything. But she would take us to the library, and we would get DVDs all the time there. Like, cause we used to not have a smart TV. Like, I mean, most people used to not have a smart TV.
Mhm.
Like in all the streaming service, we had Netflix and Amazon, and those were on our DVD player. So we would play DVD. We would get so many DVDs. Like there was a time we rented out almost every single Scooby-Doo movie in the library. Lego Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo Monsters of Africa, Monsters of the Space Ghosts.
The Yeti.
It's so funny because like by the time you guys were even old enough to be watching movies and stuff, like Redbox had already phased out, and it was already Netflix and Hulu and stuff. So like you guys, you don't even really know what it's like. Like back in the day, watching movies, and like it's so much different than it used to be now. Like it's all at your fingertips.
Yeah.
But did you guys have like a family movie or family video or?
Oh, we did.
Yeah,
did.
we
it was
used to.
It was by the Burger
or
King.
a Blockbuster or something.
We had family video. It was by Burger King, and it used to be. I don't know if you know where the old Marco's Pizza was.
Yeah.
It's right across from Burger King, kind of. Where that building used to just be family video. Like
Up until recently, right?
it was
till like
it
2
was
years
family
ago.
video
Yeah,
the
something
whole
like that.
building.
They held out.
And then
Yeah.
they made it smaller. They cut the building in half basically. Half the building was a different company, then half the building was family video, and then now they just got rid of family video because I bet nobody was going there.
Yeah.
I
Like
don't know how they even made a profit like that. Like they held out
there's no way they did.
longer than anyone else probably.
I
did.
can't believe it.
Like
I can't believe it.
Like when did Blockbuster close?
Oh
Like,
man.
there's
Almost.
like one left in Arizona.
Yeah,
I think I'm in Fort Dodge, which is a city south of where we're at in Iowa, and I think they had a Blockbusters up until probably 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And every time I drove past it, I'm like, why are you still there? But it was fun. Like going to get
for
rent
sure.
a movie, like you could rent video games too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was really fun to go with your friends and like go pick out a couple movies, and like you're staying with your friends for the night or like a birthday party or something. Those were good times, but it's a lot more convenient now.
yeah.
that's
And
true.
really cheap.
I remember the first movie Dad rented when we first got Amazon was Zorro.
Yeah, Zorro.
Great
The
movie.
Mask of Zorro.
Great movie.
When
Have you guys done Zorro yet? That's the one
We
you
have
should do with your
not.
dad.
I haven't seen
Zorro?
Zorro.
You should get your dad on Zorro
I haven't
down
seen
here.
Zorro since I was like 7.
yeah, I've not seen it in a long time, but I remember we would go to the library again and we would get the Zorro cartoon TV show.
Oh yeah.
Like
What?
there's a cartoon TV show called Zorro. Like
Never
was a
heard. I
Hero,
never heard of it.
the hero with a mask or something like that.
Cool.
And, like I remember we would always make fake swords out of long paper tubes, and we go whoosh, whoosh, and like put a Z in a tree because
Yeah.
he always did that.
Mhm.
I think in the movie, he always put a Z in a
Yeah.
tree next to where he saved somebody.
Yeah, I love. Those are great movies.
Such oh gosh,
How old is Kevin supposed to be in this movie right now?
8,
8?
I believe.
I cannot imagine. That's like Gus. I cannot imagine Gus
don't
living
know.
by himself.
So fun fact, I know Macaulay Culkin was 9 years old
Oh really?
when they filmed. Well, I shouldn't say I know. That's what Abby told me. So I'm trusting you, Abby. And his stunt double was a 30-year-old man who, according to the description, had similar height and physique as Macaulay Culkin.
8-year-old.
Of a 9-year-old.
9-year-old.
Poor guy.
I know.
So you know,
He's even more small. He's even smaller than me. You know.
so you know Filler, like the guy that wets the kid that wets
Fuller?
the bed? Fuller.
Yeah.
Isn't that Macaulay Culkin's brother?
Yeah, it's Macaulay Culkin's brother.
Little brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that until Abby was telling me all these facts, you know.
In the movie, I've watched so many videos on like I'm so into movies that I just watch so many videos on all the movies. It's like movie mistakes that you see in the movie, and one of them was so you know when there's that big spill and like they're trying to and Fuller goes behind the chair and it goes up against his nose.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You could see the chair bend, like if you look,
Oh, really?
you could see the chair bend. So.
That house that they filmed this Home Alone movie in, the family that owned that house, because it's in Chicago or the Chicago area, they still lived there while they were filming it.
Really?
Yeah.
How did they do that? They just like
Probably
went
just
to grandma's house during the day.
Probably, or go to school or something.
Go
I don't
That's
know.
true.
Did they have like a warehouse where they like did all the when the guys break in, when Harry and Marv when they break in?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Because that house would have been destroyed.
They would have to.
They probably just cleaned it
They-
up.
or cleaned it. Yeah, I don't know.
But
I never know if
Yeah.
like what scenes are in a studio versus what scenes are in the actual house.
Because they're so good at.
They're good.
They're so
Yeah.
good at
Yeah,
doing
they're
it.
really good at making them seamless.
oh yeah, 100%. So
What do you guys think? Do you guys think the guy that spreads salt with the shovel, do you think he's actually a good guy?
I think he's a good
Oh, he's
guy.
a totally good guy.
I think he's a serial killer.
Actually, you believe Buzz?
Buzz is a jerk, by the way.
Yes, he is.
Very bad.
Reminds me of Charlie a little bit.
the
He
heck?
does.
You know
When
what?
I was younger, he kind of reminds me of Mike.
Yeah, so like
Mike, our uncle.
Yes,
not like-
I can see it.
He didn't look like Mike, but he just reminded me of Mike.
he looked like
growing
Mike.
up.
He looked like Mike to me.
I could see it. I could see it.
And Mike always had like airsoft guns and like
Yeah.
firecrackers, and he always do bottle rockets at us.
I remember one time it was a super windy day, trying to throw firecrackers in our backyard. I threw one in the air. The wind took it and made it land on our trampoline, and it exploded on the trampoline. So now there's a hole in it.
But the good thing, if there's like if it was so the trampoline springs the trampoline what's it called, the rubber, it was burnt, so like it shriveled up, and so like the hole didn't get any bigger. like,
Oh,
over
okay.
time.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing.
You cauterized your own trampoline.
We had our football team over for team breakfast after we went to church, and we had almost the whole football team on the trampoline, and now you could barely jump on it because it's so like stretched out.
stretched out
Touches the
springs.
floor.
Like 250-pound linemen on it, plus all the wide receivers, the
Oh,
quarterback,
yeah.
and
I'm
the
surprised
rest
it
of the
didn't
team.
break.
Oh, it was touching the ground. Like when they were jumping, they every once in a while their feet would hit the ground. Like, but all the other times they were about this far. Like I'm holding up
Your
2
mom
centimeters.
is your mom pretty impressed about that, or she?
Oh, she thought it was gonna break, and she was gonna get sued. I thought she thought that. I believe it.
How long have we had that trampoline?
A while. We've had that trampoline for a long time.
And it's been transformed. Like it used to have a net.
It used to have a
red,
net.
a red thing around
Now
it.
it's missing a few
It's like-
springs.
It's like just like the metal frame with the trampoline. That's it.
little dangerous.
We were just donated a trampoline.
Oh, really?
My oldest brother just gave me gave us a trampoline, and I very reluctantly took it because I don't want a trampoline in my yard. But
Is it? How big is it? Is
You
it
got
like,
overruled.
it's a full size trampoline.
Really?
Yeah.
Does
we got
it have a net?
no.
Nets are dumb.
It
like
used to. Well, I'm a little worried because I got
Young kids.
young little kids that are gonna fall and break their leg or something. So I worry about that stuff.
We use the net, like, the only times we ever used the net was when we were playing sports on the trampoline. Like, we would play football on the trampoline, tackle football on the trampoline, and, like, we would use that as kind of to keep the ball in, or, like, we would play dodgeball. That was fun.
Dodgeball sounds fun on a tramp.
Or
Dodgeball, we used the kickballs, though.
So that hurt.
Someone got, we were jumping with our cousin Roman.
Mm-hmm.
We were
Shout out Roman.
Shout out Roman. He was episode 2 or 3 of the pod. He was on the trampoline with us. We were playing dodgeball with these kickballs, and we hit him in the face. He was in there when he got hit. He did a backflip and landed on his back.
Oh.
But he was all good though, right?
Yeah.
Of course he was all
Yeah.
good, but
I remember.
he took that like a champ. But it was hilarious.
I remember we had like this big medicine ball, like yoga ball,
Mm-hmm.
and we put it on the trampoline, and if the ball touched you, you'd be out, and there'd be like 5 people on like the trampoline, and we'd just like be ending up throwing Gus into the ball, and he'd be out like every single time.
We played a game, and speaking of medicine ball, or what do you call those? Yoga
The
balls.
fitness orb.
So in high school, in our wrestling room during PE, it was called trench ball. It was a
Trench ball.
blast. You should tell your PE teacher, your gym teacher too.
Trench
Does he listen?
Or Mr. Valman, and I'll get him to listen.
Get him to listen and tell him about trench ball.
Trench
And I don't
ball.
know if it's a real thing or if our PE teacher just made it up, but you roll up the wrestling mats and make like walls on each side. It's dodgeball, but with
fitness
the
orb?
mats, with the mats and the fitness orbs, and so you can hide behind that mat. It was a blast.
Have
Did
you
you like move it like a shield, or was it like stationary?
The mats had to stay where they were, but you could use the ball to like block other balls, and then you just smoke people. And all the girls would, we just chuck the ball at them and knock them out. And, yeah,
have you seen The Office?
love that show.
Have-
Wait. Let's start with a quick debate here.
Oh yeah,
Have you guys seen Parks and Rec?
I've not.
Some of it.
I've seen the first episode.
Oh, okay, then never mind. So eventually, when you guys watch that, let me know which one you like more:
Okay.
Parks and Rec or The Office.
What do you like more?
I'm a Parks and Rec guy.
I've watched The Office so many times. Like I started it.
They're both amazing.
I started The Office and I finished it over like 3 months, and I was like, "What am I gonna do with
You
myself
finished
now?"
it in 3 months?
Yeah.
No way.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's how many episodes are there?
201.
But they're like 30-some minutes.
Yeah,
though.
they're not that long, but 3 months is quick.
Really, I feel like that's long.
Oh man.
I finished
Yeah.
it in like I just watch it at night. Like I go to
Couple
my,
episodes.
I go to my room, watch like a few episodes, and then go back, then
Yep.
go to bed, falling asleep to an episode. So that's how I would do it. And yeah, I finished it. And I was like, what am I gonna do with myself?
Great show.
Like it's so good.
Great show. Oh, we're gonna have to trademark that now.
Oh.
Crap.
It's okay.
It took me like
Hopefully we were off tune enough.
That was Movies and More intro. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how it ends. But have you seen? I listened to a podcast with about The Office, and it was the fitness orb cold open with Dwight. He's bouncing on it, and Jim is
Oh yeah.
super annoyed with it, and he pops it.
Yep.
That was originally not supposed to happen. It was supposed to be lightly tapped with the scissors. He was supposed to just go out of sight because it's deflating,
Mm-hmm.
but he hit it at the exact. There was like a very small chance that he would hit it exactly on the steam, and it pops. So like,
Boom.
He was sitting on it, and all of a sudden he stabs with the scissors, and it pops, and Dwight hits the floor, and you can see John Krasinski, who is Jim, just laughing.
I don't know how they don't laugh.
Oh my gosh,
The bloopers of The Office are
so funny.
So funny.
How much of that is like improvised? Like,
a lot,
Isn't it like?
like
I
a
don't
good
know.
amount.
I would imagine quite a bit.
Because in the Office Ladies podcast,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to Jenna Fisher and Angela Kenzie.
Mm-hmm. Jenna Fisher. I mean, I know we got to keep this G-rated, but she's pretty cute.
She's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
What would I be thinking about that?
The whole people, every person
She looks
on
a
the
lot
show
like
is
Abby.
pretty.
What's that?
Everybody on the Office is pretty. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Kevin,
Dwight.
good looking guy Kevin is.
Oscar. What's the weird guy's name?
Creed.
Creed. Creed.
Okay, not everybody. Just most of all the women are very, very pretty.
I would agree. But yeah, maybe they listen to this podcast.
Oh, maybe. Let's send it to him.
Maybe.
Shoot him a DM or something.
Who listen to my podcast? My dream for this podcast is, if it gets big, start another podcast. Movies and More presents The Office, or like something like that, like an Office podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That's my dream, because like
You should reach out to Jenna Fisher and be like, hey, I'm a big fan. I listen to your podcast. Love the show. Have me on.
Yeah.
But it's just those two, right? They don't ever have guests. No,
Yeah,
they
they
have
have
guests.
guests. I was
Like
listening,
writers and stuff.
I was listening to the episode Casino Night like earlier this week, and they had John Krasinski on it.
Did they?
And him and Steve Carell, I feel, are the two biggest actors to come from The Office for sure. Like everybody else, like they're all.
Well, wait.
Those are the two biggest actors, I feel.
But
like.
wasn't... What's his name? The man, not John, but the other one that you just said.
Dwight?
No.
Or Steve Carell?
Steve Carell. Yeah, duh. Wasn't he big before The Office? Because didn't he
I'm
do
not sure.
didn't he do 40-Year-Old Virgin and stuff?
I'm pretty sure that was during The Office.
Was it?
Because I remember I watched a video on it, and he was like, he was bigger, like he was just a copy of the UK Office guy, the first season, but the second season he got fit. And you know when David Wallace gets fired,
Yep.
and Michael comes to his house, and like, you know, and they're in the hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
He got in such good shape for like the 40-Year-Old Virgin and all of his other roles that he had to keep his shirt on. He had to keep his white shirt on, because otherwise it would be like, why does Michael have a six-pack?
Oh, okay.
Like, why is Michael in such good shape? You know, that's why.
Well, and if you look, like his hair, like he's like balding in the
Yeah.
first season, and he must have gotten like
So much grease
hair
in his hair.
implants or
However people get
something.
more hair.
Yeah.
A wig or something.
So who's your favorite character in The Office then?
Oh my goodness. Honestly, I feel like Andy Bernard.
He's good.
But hear me out.
He's good.
Not late Andy Bernard, but like season 3 to season 6 Andy Bernard.
Like Andy Bernard punches through the wall, like that's your peak Andy Bernard.
right after that.
Yep. Well,
Like-
that's like his first or second episode, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right after the he gets transferred over,
Mm-hmm.
and Jim plays a prank on him. But
Yep. The phone prank.
yeah, right
Yep.
after that, like when he comes back and he's chill and funny,
Mm-hmm.
that. But like when I like him when he's boss too. But as soon as he leaves for Florida to sail his boat, it's as soon as when I don't like him, because he starts getting a little weird, you know.
The Office starts to go downhill a little bit after that.
100%.
Yeah.
After like season 8, I enjoy it, and I enjoy season 9. I'm not gonna lie, but it's just not the same with without Steve Carell there. You know.
Agreed.
I wonder how when Michael Scott was like fit. I wonder how they do that in like such a short time. Like,
Doesn't he?
Roids. I don't know. I mean, think about it.
Just
Think about it.
probably
These
works
guys'
out.
jobs are to act. You know, like they're not in the office for 10 hours a day.
and they're not doing it for competition.
No, I mean, so like there's a lot of time on their hands to work out.
Yeah.
Eat right. Eating right costs a lot of money, so they're making a lot of money. They're eating right.
For sure.
You know, they've got 2-3 hours a day that they can work out, where most people don't have that kind of time.
Have you seen the TV show Community?
No, never have.
No.
Mm-mm. That's about the community college.
Yeah.
No.
I watched that show because I finished The Office. I'm like, shows. Actually, I watched Community first. That's how I found The Office. But it was Community, and it was like shows related to community. Office came up. I watched the first episode, but I was like a little young. I was like 12 or 13, and it was like I just didn't really get the jokes in the first season. So I turned it off, and I didn't get back to it. And then I was with my friend, and we just clicked through channels, and because we were at a cabin, they didn't have like streaming service and stuff, and we just clicked through channels. And the first episode of The Office I've ever saw was Fun Run.
The Office or Community? The Office.
The Office, Fun Run, you know, for rabies.
Yes.
That episode is my favorite episode of The Office.
That's a great one.
That's so funny. God.
Because it's really hot that day, right?
Yes, like Andy Bernard's getting nipple chafing.
Yeah, his nipples
are
are bleeding. Yep, I forgot about that.
That movie is so funny. That whole show in general I just so much enjoy it.
I've only finished like 2 TV series. The Walking Dead and Psych.
Really.
That's it.
Ever seen what? Well, yeah.
When Charlie and I were growing up, we would find a show on Netflix and we would just watch it together. Like during summer, we would pick a TV show and we'd be like, let's watch an episode of our show. And like we'd watch the show, finish it, but it would take us so long because like we were busy and like it would take us so long, and then we kind of just stopped watching TV shows together because one person was this place, one person was that place. Someone would watch too far forward. They have to catch up.
The Flash.
The Flash. We started that show. We watched the first 2 seasons together, and
Leo finished it.
I did watch ahead because it was a good show, but
I've never even heard of it.
The Flash?
Flash?
Never. Well, I've heard of The Flash.
But you haven't watched the show? Oh. Have you watched The Arrow?
Mm-mm.
No?
I
Well,
haven't.
it's like in the same world as The Arrow.
Okay.
But-
So we're at the part in the movie where he just stole. He shoplifted.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, if you were working the counter at the grocery store and there's a 9-year-old that walks in, do you think that you'd maybe ask questions and like call the police?
Where's your parents?
Yeah.
No.
Just simple questions.
In the car. Which car? The white car or the blue car?
If I was in
The purple car?
if I was working in Chicago, I'd probably ask just because it's like a bigger place. If it was
He
in
got
La Crosse,
stolen.
if I was in La Crosse, Wisconsin, I wouldn't be that worried. 'Cause
No?
it's like
And like if he runs off with a toothbrush,
do not get
Like,
paid not to do anything.
I don't think I would like send the cops after him for a toothbrush.
I think. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, do you think the cop was trying to get him, or was it a cop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the boy came out of the store
Oh, that's right.
and then he was like, shoplifter.
Yep. Do you think the cop is like, okay, it's a shoplifter, or like, I should help this little boy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He
You know what? I never thought about
Well,
that before.
I don't know.
He
might
might be
be-
screaming at him though.
You know what?
Yeah.
He might be just trying to help the
He might
kid.
just be
Like he
trying
was
to
like,
help.
"Come here, kid," not like, "You're arrested." You know,
Well,
he,
if he was, he wouldn't
Oh
yell.
my
He'd be
gosh.
like, he'd be like more of like a calm man, don't you think? Like,
he was calm mannered.
Yeah.
Like he was just, he's like, "Hey, kid, come back here." Like he didn't like.
eh.
The cop was trying to help him.
And what do you think a toothbrush costs in 1990?
50 cents,
Oh, I bet it's less than that.
25 cents.
Yeah, maybe 50.
But
maybe
now,
50
like,
cents.
there's actually toothbrushes are actually not that expensive.
yeah, there's
So now we're talking about toothbrushes now.
not much inflation on
I've got a
toothbrushes.
really nice electric toothbrush.
I actually
that-
have a free dentist toothbrush.
My Clean Tooth
That's
3000.
the one I use.
My Clean Tooth 3000.
What?
It's a joke.
So Marv's his name, right? The dopey tall one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys could grow facial hair, and by the way, for all the listeners out there, I'm 29 years old and I cannot grow facial hair either. Maybe someday, I don't know. But he's got just rocking sideburns,
Oh yeah, it's like the
scruffy stash.
Yeah.
And would you guys rock the sideburns like that?
No.
No.
I would rock a beard like when I'm old, but not now, or I don't think I would rock his.
I think I could just like rock a mustache.
You look good in a
like
mustache, Charlie.
like Andy's mustache.
Uh-huh.
I think I could do that.
Andy's facial hair is coming in nice.
Yeah, my dad's facial hair is a little gray, a lot. It's spotty.
Mike
with-
doesn't have facial hair. Mike doesn't.
I feel like I don't
So
know if he
for
could,
for
though.
all the listeners, we're talking about family members here.
Yeah,
so,
sorry.
So for all the first names that we're throwing out, we apologize.
Most of them are, all of them we've mentioned so far are family members.
And think about the ingenuity that we're looking at here. So he's set up his living room to make it look like there's a party going on. Where do you get those mannequins?
Where do you even get this rope? Like
Why do you have them
in our house, I don't even think I could find rope, like, or string like that. You know?
Okay, so they've got Michael Jordan going around on a train set, and
I feel
this
like
brings up the $1 million question: LeBron or MJ?
MJ, 100,000%.
Agreed.
Like,
I'm not much of a basketball
Me
person,
neither.
but
Just off
MJ.
of Space Jam 1 and Space Jam 2. Space Jam 1 is so much better than
I've
Space Jam 2.
never seen the second one because that's with LeBron, right?
It's not good.
It's not that great.
Nope,
you
never
can,
seen
it. You can skip it. Like, it's not a 1 on the you have to see it.
It's an unneeded sequel.
Yeah, that's true. But like most sequels are unneeded, you know? Like this movie did not need a sequel, but it did, and the sequel was really stinking good.
But then they got too cocky, then made too many sequels that were
Have you
terrible.
seen any of the other ones besides 1 and 2?
I think just 3, and that's the one with the remote control car, correct?
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought it was pretty good.
No, yeah.
It wasn't that bad.
I mean,
not bad.
There was a time when growing up, there was a Home Alone one that on the picture it looked like there was a girl in the Home Alone. The girl got left home alone, but it was actually a guy. Well, it was like a kid that had longer hair, just like to their ears, kind of like longer, a little bit longer than my hair. But I thought it was a girl Home Alone for the longest time, and then we finally watched it when it was 24 Days of Christmas on AMC or the Family Channel, you know. But that movie was not good.
So funny story about mistaking the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So your Uncle Mike, one of his favorite movies, and this is Abby told me this, or maybe Mike told me this, but one of his favorite movies growing up was Mulan.
I know this.
And he watched it, and they were like, "Well, you know, Mulan's a girl, right?" And he was
livid.
No, he's not. And they're like, "Yeah, that's kind of the whole point of the movie, Mike."
Fooled him too.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I'll make a man out of you because
Yeah.
you're not a dude.
That's funny.
Yeah, good old Mike. Does he listen?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll have to ask him tomorrow.
Did in high school I'm kind of changing subjects, but in high school did you play any sports? In high school, Jesse?
Yeah. So this is it's an interesting story because you would think just because I'm so big and strong and masculine. What are you laughing about? No, I tried to play football.
In the movie.
I tried to,
Sure.
I tried to play football for a couple years, and I really disliked football. I like the sport. I'm just terrible at it. I can't catch. I can't run fast. I'm not explosive.
Not fat enough to be a lineman.
Yeah. I would, and keep in mind, like my freshman year, I weighed I weighed like 105 pounds. You know, I was not a big kid by any means. But no, so I did that for a couple years, and I finally convinced my dad to let me quit. I didn't quit halfway through the season. I made it through sophomore year, and Dad, I'm tired of this, you know. So, but what I was pretty good at, not amazing, but I was pretty good. I'd say as above average wrestler.
You wrestling?
The wrestling community is pretty big in the Iowa area, and like especially in that Des Moines, you know, there's a lot of talented wrestlers in Central Iowa and around. And I was pretty good. I was above average, but I was not. You know, I think my high school record was 80-20, maybe.
That's pretty good.
Something
not
like
bad.
that. 80-25, something like that.
There's a kid in our school named David Moline. Shout out to David Moline.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of this kid.
David Moline is I'm pretty sure he got his 100th pin
It's insane.
recently, or
He's ranked
his 100th
nationally,
victory. I'm not sure. Dave, are you? Just tell me if you see me.
No. So speaking of really talented, he's a freshman. You said
He's a senior.
Oh, he's a senior. So, just recently at a freestyle tournament, it was an open tournament. There was a senior high school, and I don't think it was anyone from Wisconsin.
Dave?
I don't think so. I don't know the guy's name, but Tony Ramos is a Purdue wrestler. He's a previous national champion. I think he was a national champion, but he was definitely an All-American, and I think he's a junior, senior in college.
Oh yeah.
And he just got beat by a high schooler.
No way.
Swear.
I
I don't know.
know
I
this.
can't imagine that that's ever happened before.
He's a national champion.
I think he's a national champion, or definitely top 2 or 3 as of last year. And last year he knocked out a
That's
really
crazy.
good Iowa wrestler, and he, you know, it was his only loss. And yeah, this high schooler beat him.
I think
Kicked his butt.
That's actually
Kicked his butt.
crazy.
Crazy.
I think like wrestling
that's
and like
nuts.
all like type of martial arts and stuff like that is like some of the only sports that like you like if your form is good, you're gonna win. Like hockey, everything takes time, and if you're bigger, you're gonna win most of the time.
Yep.
It's just
Well, and I know like Roman, your guys' cousin.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's a heck of a basketball player, but we always made fun of basketball players in high school. You know, basketball, you need 2 balls to wrestle. You know, you only need 1 ball to play basketball. So, no, we had a feud with the basketball players in high school. We were all buddies, but
It was just like a joke and
Yeah.
one.
where you lived. Were there a lot of farm kids like that wrestled?
yeah, there's less farmers in Iowa than you would think. It's so I would say no.
But there's
But
probably like
I would
communities
call it
of
like
though.
country kids, not
Country
not
kids. Yeah,
necessarily
yeah.
farm kids. Yeah, and we were pretty good. We were never amazing. So why do you bring it up? Just curious if I did any sports.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah.
And to shout out Dave Moline.
Shout out Dave Mullane, stud.
What a good guy.
Is he has he won state ever, or is he on the road to
Did
do
he
that?
last year? Because someone
I
in the
don't.
finals
Jake Fitzpatrick won state,
Oh yeah.
and he's going to Mankato.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Dave is going a walk on to Wisconsin next year.
Nice.
The
Cool.
the wrestling team.
I love wrestling. I don't watch it enough because I don't have time, but it's a good sport.
Isn't Iowa like a super strong wrestling state? I should say, like community.
I would say historically, yes.
Pinky toe hold Joe.
Big toe hold. Yeah, well,
Was his name Joe?
yeah, Frank Gotch.
Oh, Frank Gotch.
So I'm from Humboldt, Iowa, or that's where I live, and Frank Gotch is from Humboldt, and he's pinky toe hold. No, so like Iowa, University of Iowa and Iowa State, they've historically been very good for like the past 20, 30,
Very,
40
very
years.
strong.
I don't exactly know how far back that goes. But no, I mean they're not the top anymore. Like Pennsylvania, Minnesota, Oklahoma, Wisconsin's not really up there. Iowa State just beat Wisconsin like 40-0.
Goodness.
Wisconsin's not really good at anything at the moment.
You don't think so?
Hockey, aren't they pretty good at hockey now? Like
Their
like,
women's team is good, but their
Aren't they
their
like-
men's
aren't they
team
like
isn't-
sixth
isn't
or
great.
something?
I don't know.
What's your hat? Is that your logo?
Oh, my hat. I'm wearing a Howie's hockey hat. It's a hockey brand.
Oh.
Like it's a tape brand and lace brand.
I thought it was like a movie reel.
that would
I thought
be
it was
sick.
I thought it was for your move, like for the podcast.
This is the logo.
Yeah. I've seen the logo, but it looks like
Yeah.
like movie reel.
That's actually a good idea. I'm if I get more popular, I'm a start the office podcast.
Well,
like
what
I said.
what you
and
should start doing is
get merch.
asking for sponsors.
I got a sponsor on last week's episode.
Who's that?
Three Rivers Performance. Shout out to them again.
Nice. Maybe we could do a shout out to like KCB or something.
Shout out to
KCB, your custom home builder. That sounds pretty good.
That does actually.
If you live an hour out of La Crosse, Wisconsin, we'll take you.
Don't come with a small budget at KCB.
But like in the movie 5 seconds ago, the lady was asking the same questions you were asking. Like when he went to the store.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your parents? Where do you live? I can't tell you that. You're a stranger.
Yeah.
I mean,
Stranger danger.
stranger danger
Yeah.
for sure. But I feel like this lady had the right idea. You know,
Yeah.
just trying to make sure this kid's not gonna get stolen. Recently,
Why does it ever talk about why they go to Paris?
Family, I think.
no, that's number 2. No,
They have family in Paris.
Is that why
oh, they do because
Because
in the beginning of the movie, there's like, are your parents home? Yeah. Do they live here? No. And it's like, like when, Marv is the cop, one pretending to be a cop.
yeah.
No.
No, Harry's the one.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, Harry.
Harry.
Marv's he's too much of a
Yeah.
doofus. Yeah. Because
so-
remember it sees the sparkle in his tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harry was in the cop outfit and trying to figure out. And he was asking all the kids if their parents are home. Do they live there? They all their parents lived in France.
Sorry, my parents live in France. It's like,
I'm not sure how
That's
they
what Nate
got
said.
from. How did they get to
I don't understand.
Chicago?
Yeah, I don't know.
They didn't really explain that very
It does
well.
it does explain why I'm not a huge fan of the McAllisters.
Yeah.
I mean, one, they're neglectful parents, and two, they have French. They're of French descent, and that's
What the heck?
that's kind of pathetic.
double negative.
Have,
It is. Yeah.
In Home Alone 4, it's Kevin.
There's a fourth one.
There's like 6.
What?
So the fourth one, it's like following the first and second one, but
But it's Kevin again.
the parents are divorced.
The parents get a divorce, and Kevin moves in with his dad.
But it's not Macaulay Culkin.
it's not Macaulay
No,
Culkin.
it's
It's a
not.
brown-haired Kevin. Like it's
Oh.
a kid that looks nothing like Kevin,
Never heard of it.
and all of a sudden he's 8 again. Like it really makes me mad. Like I think they're only saying it's Kevin because Kevin makes the
Money
better
grab.
movies. For
And-
sure, money grab.
And like, so the parents are divorced. The dad gets a new wife. Is like gonna marry this super rich lady, and it's just terrible. Like the Prince of England, of someplace comes over to like the house because this like lady is super important, and like Marv breaks out of jail with his wife and try to kidnap this.
We got it mixed up the whole time. Marv is the small guy. Harry's the tall guy.
I think you're right. Yeah.
like Harry is the dumb guy.
Well, they're talking right now.
No, Marv is the tall one. Hold up.
Damn it, Marv! No,
Let's hold up.
So I was specifically told not to swear.
I'm just. It was a
And
word from.
I feel like we're breaking rules now.
It was a word from the. It was a quote from the show, and I'm just trying to figure out who said it to who.
Harry. Hold on.
But I feel like.
Yeah, this is Harry. So yeah, we were right. We were right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
So yeah.
So Marv is the doofus.
Yeah, Marv is the doofus.
with the sideburns.
Don't you think like those traps would hurt the actors, like getting hit in the face with paint? Like how could they film that without actually getting the guys hurt?
What do you think?
Well,
They had to have been like fake props, like styrofoam or
yeah.
something.
well, the real thing is like if a bucket of paint hits you in the head, you think you'd probably not be too well off with that.
I feel like it hurt like a son of a gun.
Fun fact: the ornaments that he steps on, they were candy. They were made of candy.
There's candy glass.
Well,
This'll hurt.
they were. That's what I was thinking. Like even candy
Like Legos hurt to step on.
could stab you.
Like you know, like you have a
Like
you
a
have
candy cane, and you like lick it, and like you
a
just
point.
make it go super
Those-
sharp.
I remember doing
That
that.
hurts your inside of your mouth, like
Yeah.
So wouldn't
So
that?
even sharp candy.
I feel like that would still hurt.
But yeah, they were candy ornaments.
Dang. Ow.
The second movie where he gets electrocuted in the sink.
like again, like you would
turned-
not survive from that. You
No,
would
no.
probably die.
But
I mean, they probably just added that. They probably just added that in post. Like he probably just went like,
oh yeah,
But they definitely just added the sparks after.
definitely.
He did
Or
not-
his skeleton.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It shows his whole skeleton. Yeah.
I watched this YouTube video. It was like, so in the movie The Polka King, people said that he's the devil.
Which somehow makes no sense.
What is that? I don't get
Like,
it.
they're in Scranton Airport.
Yeah,
they're in
but
the
that's
Scranton
John
Airport.
Candy.
Yeah, they're saying that he's the devil because right before he came up to her, she was like, I will even go through hell myself or something like that. Then he comes up. He's like, hey, what's the problem here?
Oh.
So
Polka.
But yeah, and I also, so that's the theory that John Candy in this movie is the devil.
But he gets her home.
I don't know. It was a stupid theory.
That's silly. I mean, the devil doesn't play the clarinet. Let's be
That's
real.
true.
That was like
And that's in the Scranton Airport, like the same place, The Office.
the Electric City.
Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Is that it?
Yeah, have you even seen The Office?
No, I've seen the Bell of the podcast, and they mention it a lot.
The Office?
Did they
Yeah.
actually film The Office in Scranton,
I don't believe.
or was
so.
it filmed in California?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was filmed in California.
But doesn't it snow sometimes?
Yeah,
doesn't
That's
it snow
fake.
on the
That's
ground.
fake.
Or they
I feel
film the outside of the office building.
Oh, I mean,
No, because there's some outside scenes.
yeah.
I don't know.
They might film half of them in like half the episode in New York. I mean, half the episode in Scranton and half the episode in
What you guys need
California.
is a producer, like on a computer, looking this stuff up like everyone else.
Oh yeah, I feel like that'd be awesome.
You know, you guys should. I mean, Nick, he works with Theo Vaughn.
Yeah.
You guys should get on Theo Vaughn. How crazy would that be?
That'd be actually awesome.
That'd be hilarious.
That'd be so funny.
He is so funny.
Get
feel
a
like
couple teenagers on there, and it'd be hilarious. It'd be great.
Have you seen so like is it this past weekend? Have you seen their podcast?
That's Theo Vaughn's podcast.
Yeah, Theo Vaughn's
Mhm.
podcast. They had a New York City garbage man on
Garbage
it.
man.
I haven't.
It is
I-
so funny.
I heard Nick talk about that, and he's like, "We're looking for nuns, and we're looking for
A Greyhound bus driver.
yeah."
Preferably black. So if anybody knows that, DM the Movies and More Instagram. Okay.
or
Thank you.
or an Amish person
Or an ex-Amish person.
or a Mormon.
Or a Mormon.
What
with multiple
about
wives?
what about like a small town manufacturing manager, like myself?
I don't know. Maybe
Oh,
Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
they see like a construction worker in like a big city. I just imagine
Mhm.
those stories. Oh
Um,
man.
what do you do? Like, for your job?
So, yeah, good question. So I work for a company called PPI. Shout out PPI Precision Pulley
Shout
and
them
Idler. So we are a pulley manufacturer for the conveyance industry. So we make pulleys and rollers for, think of like Amazon distribution centers where there's massive amounts of product moving on conveyors. Pretty much anything that you can think of that rides on a conveyor. You like even as small as applications like at the grocery store where you put your groceries on and there's a small
Oh, yeah?
conveyor. Like that's an application where our pulleys and rollers are in. Our business really started with what they call aggregate, like bulk material handling, which is coal mines, copper mines. I assume gold. Have you seen the show Gold Rush?
Yeah.
So there's actually some, like if you look really closely at some of those conveyor systems that are shooting the dirt or whatever they're moving, they if you see a green pulley on the end, am I talking too loud?
Oh no, you're talking. You're talking a little bit quiet, but I think I got it fixed.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're all good.
I need to get closer. I feel like Gus.
Gosh, talking to the microphone.
Anyway, long story short, the what I do there is I'm the plant manager.
Oh yeah.
And I've got about 80 people on my team, and we build small pulleys and rollers for Amazons and Walmarts, and yeah,
That's cool.
How many like?
it's interesting for sure. I really enjoy it. But yeah, that's what I do.
That's
How
awesome.
many pulls would you say like you make a day?
pulleys?
Pulleys.
Pulleys. So it ranges. Some days it's more than others, but it's typically about 200,000 a year.
Holy.
A year.
Jeez, that's a lot.
But we have a facility in Lenox, Iowa that makes just a ton. I bet they make, I think it's like almost 1 million idlers per year. So it's a good business. That's my day job. I'm starting a small machine business.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So I am going to put a plug in there, offset machining. If you need any machine components, we work typically with aluminum, carbon steels, and stainless steels.
Mm-hmm.
Offsetmachining.com. I'd be more than happy to sponsor the show. But that's kind of my dream, is to start my own company.
Yeah.
And your dad did the same thing, 20 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And
Long.
and KCB
long
is a
time ago.
super successful business.
Yeah.
And so we're in the infancy stages of my small business, and I'm just doing that on the side. I have a partner that I work with that also works at PPI full time, and business is slow for us because we're intentionally keeping it slow. But again, there's some real promise with what we're working on.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Have you ever seen the show Rust and Dust Redemptions?
Yeah,
So-
Rust
so-
Valley Redemptions or something like that.
Oh yeah,
So this guy is it Canada or like somewhere up in
Someplace.
North America?
yeah. Rust Valley Restorers.
Yeah.
He has
Yeah.
he has a junkyard full of old cars and he restores them.
That don't work, and like he
Great
makes them.
show.
He makes them like a really crappy destroyed car with they don't even have tires or seats in it. Makes it into a convertible, like 55 convertible.
It's a great
it's
show.
Like,
And then sells
So
it for
cool.
like good money.
it
Oh, yeah.
is so cool.
Yeah. That show actually makes me love Canadians.
It's yeah.
'Cause
They're
they're
good. I want to
hilarious.
have a Canadian on my podcast.
You should make that happen. Do you know any
Does
Canadians?
anyone know any Canadians?
I don't.
If
Like-
you know a Canadian, DM.
Yeah, if you know a
Movies
Canadian,
and
if you're
more.
listening, just DM me and I'll fly them out. No, I won't.
No.
Actually, I lied.
You can
Yeah.
fly yourself.
We'll do a
out.
Zoom. We'll do a Zoom episode. I'm not flying them out.
Yeah, that would probably work. I don't know if I know a single Canadian.
I don't know. Especially like a Canadian actor like
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds or Justin Bieber or
Mm.
Drake. If you know them, send
We
them
could
over.
we could probably get Drake on.
Drake seems like a good
Drake's
guy.
Canadian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of Canadian singers and actors.
There is.
Jim Carrey,
He's Canadian.
Oh, he's
Mhm.
Canadian.
Get him. I want him.
the band Rush,
I don't know.
great
those.
band. You would probably recognize
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Tom Sawyer. Anyway, we digress.
But yes, anybody knows Jim Carrey or even knows someone who might know Jim Carrey, send him on over. I would love to chat with Jim Carrey.
So, changing subjects back to Home Alone. You know the movie that he plays where he when the pizza delivery man comes, keep the change, you
The
filthy,
filthy
animal.
animal.
That movie, which is titled "Angels with Filthy Souls," is not a real movie.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought it was like a real.
they made
old-
it just for Home Alone.
I wonder if did they like
They should make
release
that
it?
a real
They
movie.
should make that real movie.
They
like-
should. Like, you know how much money they would make? I feel like they'd make a good amount of money.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch it for sure.
But like
yeah.
a recent one, like a 2024
Mhm.
movie,
Mhm.
Angels with Filthy Wings.
is it Souls?
Filthy Souls.
Oh, Filthy Souls.
But Filthy Wings is a good title too. I think it's a great title for a movie.
So
like
isn't
a
that
mob movie.
is that movie
Mhm.
about like
Sleeping
a mob
with my
guy?
brother.
Well, but no one knows because the only scenes that they made were for the movie.
Get out of here,
So
you
there's-
filthy animal.
Yeah.
That's
So here he is. The
old man Marley.
Serial killer has entered the room here.
I don't think he's a serial killer,
No, not a chance.
but he is.
He's probably just a nice old man.
I know it's a little weird. He sat by the kid that was
it's like by himself.
alone.
Well, I think he knows
That the parents aren't there?
I think he knows that, like, hey, something, like he's by
I
himself.
better protect this
Yeah.
kid.
If he was a good guy, then he would do something about it though, not just like
What's he
Well,
gonna
he
do?
does end up saving him though.
he
I know, but if he calls the police, then he'll get in. Then the parents will get in trouble.
not really.
My
They're already in
theory,
trouble.
and I'm just developing this theory on the spot right now, is the reason he doesn't help is because he's got dead bodies in his basement
We see his basement though,
because he's a serial killer.
but we see his basement in the movie, and there's no dead bodies.
Yeah, that's why he didn't call him. He had to clean him out. He had to get him out. No, I'm kidding. I have no. He's a nice old man.
Yeah, I don't think he's a serial killer. I feel like he just
Do you think he ever calls his son? Is it his son or his daughter?
his son.
his-
It's his
yeah.
son.
Son.
I think he does actually.
Does he call him?
The end of it. I wish that we saw him or caught up with him in in number 2,
Mm-hmm.
but we never do.
Well, they kind of like restarted with like the old pigeon lady.
Yeah,
Which is
the
kinda
Pigeon Lady's like the
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing. Do you know?
I mean, they're essentially identical movies.
they are. There's like
It's like watching Hangover 1, Hangover 2.
I've only seen Hangover 1. I haven't seen 2 or 3.
It's pretty much the exact same thing.
Is 3? I heard 3 is really bad.
I don't think I've seen
well,
it.
they have instead of a baby, they have a monkey, right? Instead of a tiger, they have
Wait, there's a baby in number 1.
yeah.
Mhm.
I did not watch it very.
Instead of a baby,
tight.
instead of a
Closely.
baby,
Yeah.
there's a monkey, and instead of a tiger, I think there might be like a dog. I don't remember that one.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Leo, are you in choir?
No.
You're not. Charlie, you?
Nope.
Charlie, you strike me as a singer, man.
I'm a gym and Spanish guy right now.
Oof.
Freshman year.
I know one of your
Spanish is
choir
tough.
stories.
Which one?
The one where you and your buddy switch places.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was
So
that
funny.
was an interesting evening because my parents were not impressed. Yeah, so I was not in high school choir, and they were walking on stage because I was in band, so I was just coming off the stage, and they're like, "Hey, put a robe on," and I'm like, "No, I can't do that.
Let's do it.
Put a robe on, just come out with us." So I put a robe on, and I was stood out there the entire time, and my parents didn't notice that I was out there for about 2 songs, and then the choir instructor, who did not like me, by the way.
Why?
I had a lot of fun in high school, and I think that was part of it.
Too much fun.
Yeah. Female teachers in particular were not big fans of Jesse Anderson.
Why?
But I got along. I mean, I got along well with all the teachers, and I was respectful for the most part.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the more disrespectful things that I've done in high school was. But I didn't do anything stupid.
You were just singing?
I didn't make a big scene. I just stood out there. I didn't sing because I didn't know, so I just kind of moved my mouth.
Watermelon.
How did she notice you? Like,
Well-
was there a lot of kids or?
She scans back and forth as she's directing this thing, and it was funny because she locked eyes with me, and she literally mouthed, "You're dead." No, she didn't mouth "You're dead." She probably would have gotten in trouble. She mouthed, "You're in so much trouble."
Did she actually?
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh crap!"
Were your parents furious?
No, because they didn't do anything stupid.
Oh yeah.
It was just a harmless prank.
You didn't like make the school look bad or
No,
something.
no. But I didn't get in trouble.
Oh really?
No.
They're just like, don't do this.
But they're
again.
like, come on, And the teacher, the choir director, she came up to me afterwards and she was like, "Oh, and by the way, the reason we're talking about choir is because they're in church right
Oh
now."
yeah, they're in the
yeah.
church. They're in the church.
Yeah. So trying to tie this back to Home Alone. Where was I going? She came up to me after the show and she's like, "I'm going to tell the principal and you're going to be in so much trouble." And yada, yada, yada. And so Monday rolled around and I was nervous. I'm like, and I told my parents, I'm like, "This is what she told me." And they're like, "Well, if you get in trouble, that's,
You're doing
that's on you."
everything.
And nothing ever came.
Oh really?
Mm-mm. Water under the bridge.
That sounds like something like one of our vice principals would do. Like,
Not a big deal.
as long as nothing bad happens, they don't care.
Yeah.
The original name of this podcast was Funny Stuff.
Stuff.
Like
Yep.
the mix of SHIT and stuff.
Yep.
That was originally gonna be the name because of the day we were just sharing a whole bunch of stories, and like the idea of it would I would have a guest and there would be a theme of the day, like funny school stories. That would be the theme of the day, or like summer stories or stuff like that. And then I've been into movies since I was so young.
I love it. I think it's a great topic.
And I just love movies.
Because
so.
most people can just chit chat about TV shows and movies and actors and actresses.
Most people have seen at least one movie that they can talk about.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely a good conversation starter.
Yeah.
And then you start talking about choir and wrestling and
Yeah. It's a little off topic,
and
but
bloody nipples and like
Chafing. Why would they like? Okay, I just like we're at the part where Kevin's making all
look at the size of that
all the
nail.
trap. That's
I mean,
a big nail.
that's a 16 penny.
I
mean, that's
Ooh, I watched this YouTube video. It was oh my gosh. It
How
was
did that not go through his whole entire foot?
oh, just 1 second. There was this YouTube video I watched. It was making Home Alone R-rated by the Corridor Crew,
Oh yeah.
and this guy, he had it so Marv stepped all the way down on the nail, so it went through the other side, and he fell backwards, and it cut his foot in half.
what?
It was
Is it a cartoon?
Oh, yeah.
no, it was real life. Like they edited the movie to make it look like
Oh.
he cut his foot in half.
So
It was disgusting.
Ever seen Family Guy like at all? Family Guy. So there's this little thing. It was like they're like skit. It was like Home Alone. If they had competent robbers, it was. So the two guys break in. So the two robbers break in, and then Kevin goes on the stairs and says, "Just for you guys' information, I have a tarantula, and the other guy, and then one of the robbers takes out the gun and shoots him,
Shoots
and
Kevin.
like that, and he's like, that's it, and that's the only other thing. He's like, well, thank God there's no witnesses anymore, and then it's just the end of the skit.
Have you? There's a.
Oh, one of the most disappointing parts about this whole movie is he makes this mac and cheese.
In
He's
the
got this nice
glass.
glass of milk, and he doesn't even take a bite. Watch.
He has a knife and a fork, just about to scarf into
And
this
that
mac and
piping
cheese.
hot mac and cheese looks so good.
I was just thinking,
Mac and cheese is so good.
so you know when he's like putting water on the steps to make it cold with the hose.
Yeah.
How did he turn the hose on?
He takes a bucket of water.
No.
He takes a hose.
No, he just had a hose.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did he like?
Ooh.
So usually, in like
Wrong.
Northwest.
Wrong.
No. Let me explain. In Northwest, people usually shut off their hoses. You know, not to. I know.
Agreed.
Don't we do that? I think
Yeah, we
do.
do.
That.
We do.
We
Yeah.
shut off our hoses so no water's in there. How did he turn the water on?
That's a good
Duh.
catch. I have no clue. It's a good catch.
It's a movie. That's a movie miss for sure.
Movie mistake.
Oh, speaking of that though, so one of the facts again, by the help of my beautiful wife, originally they didn't budget for there to be snow because they were gonna have to use like snow machines to make it look like. I'm glad that there was snow in this movie. Frankly, the second day of filming, they got a big blizzard,
Oh, really?
and for the rest of the movie they had to make snow, so there were snow machines and all that stuff. Pretty interesting. I think
That's
the
cool.
snow makes it.
Oh, for sure.
It'd be less of a Christmas movie without it.
Like, I was listening to the Office podcast again, and they one of the Christmas episodes had snow in the background, and they were like there were 3 types of snow. It was soap, there was plastic snow, soap snow, plastic snow, and like cotton snow
For The Office?
for the Office.
Yeah.
But soap was the easiest because they had to clean up everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And soap was the easiest. Like, they didn't have to clean it up;
Like-
it'll get rid of it. At
Like
some point.
rain would just wash it away
Yeah.
or something.
So that's how they did it on The Office. Gosh, the pranks are so funny.
This is when he burns his head, right?
Yeah. No, his hand.
Both.
Oh my gosh! Like,
Does he? I don't remember.
Yeah, because he gets the M in his hand, I believe.
Oh yeah.
ooh,
Like that fall.
That would hurt
That
so
fall's gotta
bad.
break your rib.
This is when the movie starts to get really good.
Yeah.
oh for sure. Sometimes I would just skip through the other parts
Same
and just
here.
watch like when I was younger, I would fast forward through everything until it got to the
Same
he
here.
started building the traps, and them actually doing the traps because it's so funny. Like, oh my gosh.
So you guys ice skate.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to stand on ice.
No, it's really
it's
not.
not that hard.
It's really not.
They definitely over-exaggerate.
Oh, 100%.
If you're good at it, you can. put
Like,
on.
even like hockey ice, like it's so cut into by like skates that you could you could just walk normally and you would not fall.
It's harder to run on like hockey. Like after the Zamboni goes over it, it's harder to like walk and run on that
For sure.
than like
because
regular
it's super
ice.
slick.
Because it's super slick.
Yeah.
Like regular ice that's like not maintained is easy because like you can dig in easier.
For sure. Well, we've had a good episode, Jess.
How long has it been?
Hour and 18.
Is that too long?
No, it's good.
It's good. Well, the movie's got about a half hour left, and
Yeah.
we'll probably finish it off and continue chit-chatting. But again, thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah.
Very much appreciate it, Charlie.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Leo.
It was a good episode.
We should have a good next couple of days with it being Christmas.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited.
So you got some editing to do then.
No.
Not a lot.
You're just going to throw it up.
Well, I'm going to edit like the beginning and the end just to like make
Yep.
it sound, but
Yeah.
otherwise there's like
Well,
one edit.
I am impressed with myself. I figured I'd be the one swearing,
Okay.
but it was
Leo.
you. It was
It was-
Leo
it was-
both times.
It was okay. I did not mean to do it once, but the second time it was a scene from the movie that I was reciting.
I know.
So
Everyone
I know.
always suspects me of swearing all the time, which is not that wrong, but I didn't swear at all this time.
this time,
Uh,
our first episode, I had to edit. This was my second episode editing.
Oh, so it took a while.
It took 4 hours.
'Cause
My
there-
second episode took 4 hours.
Yeah, we had a good, clean conversation about
Life.
good things. Good
Yeah.
things. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for having me on.
Hope you guys get good gifts.
Mhm.
See you guys later. Bye.